Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nur Izzlyn Ainaa binti Mohammad Zamli. My matric number 051246. I will be presenting on my answer with regard to the question proposed by Sir for the e-portfolio task. So the question is our Malaysian bar free from any political influence? Discuss the importance of having an independent bar in Malaysia. So for the introduction, as we all aware, Malaysian bar is a body corporate established under Legal Profession Act 1976, and this body has existed for over 70 years, uprighting the rights of all Malaysians and speak up for public on matters pertaining to law without fear and favour. Section 42, Clause 1A of LPA states that one of the purposes of Malaysian bar being established is to uphold the cause of justice without regard to its own interest or that of its member, uninfluenced by fear and terror. So, it is clear from this provision that LPA requires Malaysian bar to be independent body that is free from any interest and influence, including any political influence or interest. However, in real practice, is our Malaysian bar actually free from political influence? So basically, in 2016, the independence of Malaysian bar has been threatened when the Prime Minister at that time, Datuk Sri Najib Razak, has proposed some amendments to be made to the LPA 1976, which inter alia, it allows the Minister of Legal Affairs to appoint 2 members of the Bar Council. This amendment clearly will indirectly render Malaysian bar to be tempted with some political influence from the government of Malaysia, since Bar Council is the one that in charge to manage the affairs of Malaysian bar. However, the Bar Council, which was led by its president at that time, Stephen Tiru, has against the amendment and made a plan of action to address the amendment, which then, as a consequence, the proposed amendment was not passed in the parliament. This shows that the principle of independence in Malaysian bar has stand firmly and being adhered by this body until now. Besides, there are a few other events that prove Malaysian bar is free from political influence. Namely, first, in a press release in 2019, Malaysian bar president at that time, Abdul Ghaffur, he said a statement from Pasir Mas MP Ahmad Fadli Syari at the Congress Maruah Melayu on 6 October 2019 that the Bar Council was prohibited from interfering in matters pertaining to Islam in the name of human right was mischievous and unfounded. He further said that Malaysian bar, pursuant to section 42 clause 1 D and G of LPA, has always acted independently and uninfluenced to express its view on any Malaysian law as well as to protect and assist the public on legal matters. The second event that proves Malaysian bar is free from political influence is in November 2021, recently, Malaysian bar president AG Khalidas has sought for a clarification from Attorney General Tan Sri Idris Harun on the withdrawal of the appeal against the Court of Appeals acquittal of former Cabinet Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan Tengku Mansur in a corruption case. These two events are not just proving that the LPA is an effective statute, but it also shows that Malaysian bar is an independent body that performs its role under Section 42 of LPA without any political influence. Therefore, for the first question, in my opinion, Malaysian bar is indeed free from any political influence. With regard to the importance of having an independent bar in Malaysia, I have 3 points to be presented. First, Malaysian bar must always act independently so that it can protect the constitutional right and guarantee under federal constitution and upright the justice. This is because if Malaysian bar affair is influenced with politics, the bar will not be genuine in its view regarding the law and policy made by the government, which will end up to undermine the right guaranteed under the federal constitution. For example, if the government wantonly prohibits the freedom of movement or freedom of speech and assembly by reason of COVID-19 pandemic, the bar, which consists of legal practitioners and independent from the government, is the one will express its view genuinely on the constitutionality of the law or policy made by the government without being influenced by the government or any other party. For example, in case of Nur binti Ahmad Saikin, Bicaid bin Basirun and others, in this case, the Ministry of Education established Guru Sandaran Tidak Terlatih Post GSTT, which prohibit any pregnant woman to be employed since maternal leave is not provided to person that hold this post. This GSTT, according to the federal court, is violating the right under Article 8 of the Federal Constitution. So, pursuant to this case and other similar decided case like Nur Faradila, in February 2020, Malaysian Bar has proposed for the government to enact a law on gender equality to prohibit the discrimination on pregnant women in employment matter. So this is where we can see that the importance of being an independent body. Our Malaysian Bar today will not propose the gender equality bill to the government as what has been done by the Malaysian Bar previously, if this bar is tempted with political influence with the government. So next, my second point on why it is important for Malaysian Bar to be an independent body is to preserve the independence of judiciary. For example, as what has been mentioned before, Malaysian Bar has asked the Attorney General to clarify on why he withdrew the appeal against the Court of Appeal decision to acquit Datuk Seri Tengku Andalan with regard to the corruption case. If, for example, that the bar is not independent and bound with political influence of Datuk Seri Tengku Andalan's party, for example, then the bar will not bother to ask for clarification from AG, as the accused is very important person for the party. So consequently, this might can result the public to lost trust in our judiciary, and subsequently the public will assume that our judiciary is not independent and tainted with extrinsic influence, which is not good for the status of judiciary. So next, the third importance of Malaysian Bar being independent is to ensure the adherence of its member to the LPA, as well as the rules made by the bar, the LPA. We can see this importance in the case of Majlis Peguam Datuk Seri Mohammad Shafiq Abdullah, where Malaysian Bar has sued the respondent and advocate and solicitor for infringing the LPA and the Legal Profession Publicity Rules 2001 in his statement in 2 articles in the Star newspaper. This case shows that it is very important for the bar to be independent from its own members' influence, so that it can ensure that its member is acting in a way that they will not undermine the dignity and professionality of legal profession. So, in conclusion, Malaysian Bar has been an independent body which are free from any political influence, whereby it performs its statutory role under Legal Profession Act 1976 without having regard to anyone's interest, as well as without fear and favor. Since the bar is independent in nature, it has played an important role in upholding justice, protect the guaranteed constitutional right, defend the independence of judiciary, and the professionality of and preserve the professionality of the legal profession via its genuine legal view and action, regardless of who the accused is or who is the Attorney General is, or who makes the law or policy, and even if it involves its own member. With that conclusion, I will end my presentation. Thank you.